Hi Simon, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
As we approach the end of the one-year full-time diploma course, for you, the journey started last year, wasn't it? Because you embarked on doing the part-time evening diploma. And in fact, my memory serves me, you started as an acting for beginner on the one night and then jumped straight onto the diploma.
It was not enough for me, yeah.
It wasn't enough indeed. And then you said to me, what about the full-time diploma? So here we are, at the end, or nearly at the end of the diploma. The right decision for you?
Absolutely.
Okay, so why? What is it that you've done over certainly the last 9 months that has sort of began to shape the success that you wanted so much?
Well, I'd already had a taste for it during the evening diploma.
Okay.
So then, coming on to the full-time, I'd already taken a bit of advice from some of the previous students that I'd acted with.
Okay.
And literally within the first month, I knew that it was the right decision because I'd gone from doing 2 evenings a week to doing 5 full days a week, which is more than most people work.
And doing a job at the same time.
And doing a job at the same time, yes.
Okay. And the
myself.
aspiration at the beginning was to get into drama school.
Yes.
That was the hope.
Yeah.
And
one day work.
And did that happen?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
After a couple of months of auditioning at 10 different drama schools, because I thought I might as well cast a wide net,
Yeah.
I got offered the MA at East 15.
Fantastic. So you've jumped from acting for beginner to part-time diploma to full-time diploma to MA.
Yeah.
In what is less than effectively 18 months. So that's quite a big success story. If we wind back to the beginning, cabaret, what was your role in cabaret?
My role was the role of Herr Schultz.
Okay.
I was the empathetic, heartfelt Jewish representative of that play.
Mm-hmm. And did that involve obviously singing? You had to sing and dance, if my memory serves.
Dance, slight amount of reactive stage combat.
Okay.
Ria came, did a great job with singing. I'd never sung in front of anyone before that.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden Ria comes in like a tornado and opened up my voice in ways that I never thought.
Well, often students say that Ria's work and working with Ria is obviously one of the big highlights. Would you say that's true in terms of what you've learned from the small amount of time you spent with her?
Yes, I mean, I don't think there's anyone who doesn't enjoy singing and dancing for the day.
Mm.
So when I go to work at night, it's like, what did you do all day? Oh, I've sung and danced all day.
So you practice your numbers?
Yes.
Okay, so 6 productions, there or thereabouts. East, that was the first
Yes.
one, then went into cabaret, and then you moved into Macbeth. So tell me a bit about Macbeth post-Christmas.
Macbeth was an interesting one because it was my second Shakespeare,
Mm-hmm.
but it was certainly a much bigger role playing Macduff, and the emphasis on the language and hitting every word for word, as Shakespeare wanted it, but then keeping it so that people would understand was certainly a challenge.
It was set very much in a contemporary context.
Yes.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, and that was really something that you don't often see.
Sure.
Unless you go to quite a few productions actually do show it like that.
Sure.
But yeah,
and
it was quite a challenge.
Performing over a 6-week period, which you had
touring.
to sustain the show, didn't you?
Yes, and we took it to a couple of schools,
Mm-hmm.
which was a challenge in itself because you learn just the different sorts of places you can perform, what it's like, the background noise.
And the challenges.
Yeah, and with it being theatre and education,
Mm-hmm.
what it's like to perform in front of some children who might not always behave the way you would expect adults to behave during a production, but it's all part and parcel.
Fabulous. Now, tell me a bit about the journey from 10 drama school auditions. What did you actually do that you felt helped you to get to that point and then to turn that 10 into one success?
Firstly, we've been doing the audition panel every term in the evening diploma and in the full-time diploma. So I already had a big roster of monologues, classic and contemporary. I was also running my monologues that I'd chosen, and I was changing them up, but I was running them in 4 people here, including yourself. Mm-hmm. And before I went to each drama school audition, I had my book, and I did a page of research on each drama school, what they were looking for, what the course entailed, and what I'd have to do during the audition, other people's audition experiences. Like YouTube was quite useful for that, because everyone's got videos on their audition experience.
So you feel as though you were prepared and ready. Some was better than I remember having conversations with you
some went
about
better
good
than
days,
others.
bad days. days where you thought that you just didn't kind of come across, and other days where you felt you did really well. But
I had no illusion of the odds. I knew the odds were stacked against you.
So 10 to 1. Do you know what? That's as good an opportunity as any, and you certainly came up trumps with your MA at East 15.
Yeah.
Whilst doing that, you were still in the mix of rehearsing and performing all the time. So in the spring term, we did a comedy, and then you moved into this term where you're just about to next week, in fact, perform Gangster Number 1.
Yeah.
And then into Musketeers. Just very briefly, Gangster Number 1, who do you play in that?
I play Freddie Mays.
No less.
The Butcher of Mayfair.
Okay.
So
and what does that involve?
Awesome.
What kind of play is it?
That is, it's pretty much a recollection of events.
Okay.
The first half goes back and forth, almost like an episode of Pulp Fiction.
Right. Okay.
Whereas the second half changes and becomes more linear.
Is that quite difficult to act it through, or does it feel quite natural to be jumping backwards and forward in time?
It is a challenge,
okay,
because you're going from present to past.
So
to
young
future.
and old. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
You're jumping between the two, and yeah, that's a lot of fun.
And then obviously the biggie, Three Musketeers. Who are you in that?
I am Athos.
So following in the Oliver Reed school of thought.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's quite a challenge, isn't it, from a stage combat point of view? What do you actually have to do with that?
It's a lot of sword fighting.
Okay, rapier, dagger, that kind
yeah,
of thing?
rapier, dagger, all that sword fighting we've been doing all year has finally come to fruition.
And did you successfully complete your stage combat exam?
Yes.
Right, and okay, brilliant. So, is it good to find the application of technique into practice in a production like
Absolutely.
that?
Yeah, I think if you it's not enough just to learn the techniques, which I imagine a lot of other schools do, that teach you different techniques, but to actually put it into practice is something different entirely.
And the idea of actually wielding a sword amongst many and an audience, I'm sure, comes with some responsibility.
Definitely, yeah. The first thing I'm always worried about, and my first concern is always safety.
Mm-hmm.
Like, regardless of what technique, etc., my first thought is always, is this safe?
Because
you can hurt someone, you can hurt, you can
kill.
kill. It's a weapon at the end of the day.
Indeed. And is it a swashbuckling adventure?
It is. It's definitely a swashbuckling adventure. It's like a bit like Pirates of the Caribbean mixed with a few other things.
Fantastic.
And should be a lot of fun.
And it's coming towards the end, and so we already know that you're heading off to drama school.
Yes.
If you were to offer one piece of advice to someone who is perhaps looking at this screen now and thinking, do you know what, I've always wanted to do this, but I don't know whether I can. They may be in a job.
Mm-hmm.
I think you were a welder, weren't you, before?
I was, yeah, a welder.
So you gave up work to take on the journey of being. What would that advice be?
Well, if there's any part of you that thinks you may want to do it, I'd say just try and see how it goes. And if you find that it is the thing for you, absolutely give yourself to it. Because anyone can earn any amount. I mean, welding, like I say, anyone can earn massive amounts of money, but it won't make you half as happy as this will make you.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I mean, congratulations, Simon, on the successful year. We wish you the very best of luck in the graduation to come. And I guess watch this space. Yes. Thank you very much.